Alright, and here we are. We've made it.
What have we made it to?
Okay, so, it is currently 1 a.m. Welcome back to Podcasting with the Boys. This is the first episode of Season 3. So, Season 3, Episode 1. I had a little bit of a hiatus from March 2022, which was what I believe is when the last episode was released. Yeah, I went through. It was a dark time, but Jesus, God is good, and we made it through. So,
Spitting.
yeah, God is good. But we are on Season 3 of Podcasting with the Boys. It is 1 a.m. We have all. Well, first of all, my name is Lucas. I'm the host. To my right over here, I have Chase. Chase, go ahead. You want to say something? If they're listening to audio, they didn't see you. Just.
Oh. Hi guys, I'm Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it in
to my left, I have Owen.
What's up?
Mm-hmm. These are two of my very best friends. We all graduated from high school in earlier last year. It is currently January 2024, and we are starting our second semester of college tomorrow. But
It's actually not January. It's actually February 1st.
oh my gosh,
Dang.
that's what you get when you record at 1 a.m.
Happens.
We all hate January anyways.
But so it's currently February 1st, 2024, and we are recording this podcast. We have no idea what we're going to talk about, but
We don't.
I'm gonna fill y'all in on some life and happiness. But yeah, Season 3. We're skipping the last 6 episodes of Season 2. But this is a good starting
They're
point.
not
But
important.
I'm really excited for this season because we have all met some people that, to put it nicely, they are interesting.
They would definitely make the podcast interesting.
Yeah, some of them are fat, but I'm just kidding. Kind of. It's a thing. Anyway,
It's a joke.
it is a joke. But this dorm room is disgusting. There's clothes and Lord knows what everywhere around here. But this is honestly
I don't know
probably.
half these crumbs are on the ground actually. That alarming.
But this is probably the most peaceful that the dorm room has been.
This is definitely the quietest.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. But
It is weirdly quiet in here.
yeah. So what are we gonna talk about?
Well, I think we should just start kind of what's going on in life right now.
Yeah. So last time that you two were on the podcast, we actually were on it together, was the Hot Ones episode, which was recorded in February of 2022. So
That
2 years ago.
That's
2 years
crazy.
ago.
That does not feel like 2 years ago.
And if I remember correctly, coming out of that was we're coming out of winter camp for our youth group, and Owen had just gave his life to the Lord.
Yes, sir. Yeah, nothing's changed. Well, some things, but
There's some things that have changed, but we can talk about that a little bit. But not all of it's podcast friendly, but that's okay. Not in a weird. I need to shut up. Anyway, it's been 2 years since we have been on a podcast together. What's new?
I made cheeseburgers for lunch.
When?
For lunch.
today.
When?
Today.
Oh,
So that's what's new.
I like it. So.
Jason, what has changed in 2 years? Past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, probably gotten a little bit dumber. A little bit, probably spend too much time in my own thoughts. Not like, I don't know, necessarily weird, stupid way. That was weird. Anyways, yeah, not much has actually changed except college is interesting. Kind of a, I don't know, good, bad thing, I suppose. Probably more good, but yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, I'll interview you a little bit here, Chase. What are some highs and lows of transitioning from the high school life to college life?
Okay, some highs. I thought going into college would suck because, like, one of the best things about high school is that every single day, like, you just know your friends are going to be there unless
totally.
you're, like, sick or something and they, like,
Oh my gosh,
tells
this
you that
chair
they
is
wouldn't
gonna
be there.
a problem.
But, so I thought that, like, oh. What was I just saying?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
sorry.
I thought that was going to be an issue, but I like some of my best homies right here, so it's not really. And we go over to each other's rooms all the time, and we've met new people, so that's.
We
I haven't met anyone.
Well, I was gonna say, we don't go anywhere else. People come here.
That's true. People do come here. That's right. Our room's a hangout spot. I'm an idiot.
That's okay.
What else? What was the other question? I'm drawing a blank.
Highs and lows.
Was there another question? Highs and lows.
Yeah, like what's?
What was that? Was that a high or a low? I honestly don't know.
That was a high.
It was both.
Yeah, that was kind of a high.
It
That was a
good.
high. It was a high because you were saying like, you thought that coming into college it was gonna be weird, like not seeing your friends every day, but you
That's
have
true.
to see us every day.
That's true. That is so. That's a high. A low. Don't have the best work. Stutter monster. Work ethic. So, kind of been struggling with that. You know, working it out. Well, sort of trying to become more independent. Which is kind of a challenge for me because, you know, I'm mildly autistic or something. But, anyways, yeah, that's kind of the highs and the lows. I keep forgetting that, like, there's like video of this too, so I'm just like staring
That's okay.
in like this spot.
Have you ever watched a podcast ever? All they do is just.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Do you miss high school, Chase?
I mean, the memories I miss, but like high school in general, nah. It's nice, not like going to school for like 6 hours every day.
Yeah.
It's nice that it's like
Real.
like split up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do miss that like consistent schedule.
Yeah,
Like you have the same people that you see every day. I kind of like that.
that's true.
Now it's like
That is very nice. Now I actually have to think about what day it is of the week. What am I supposed to do today? Oh, it's Tuesday. Oh, missed my class. Nice.
Chase, how vulnerable are you willing to be on this podcast?
I don't know. Depends.
Do you want to talk about Spanish?
Spanish. Oh, yeah, I dropped it.
Want to tell us?
I was failing it, and so I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to be a genius here, get ahead of the curve, and just drop the class and guarantee that I fail it, because that's the smart thing to do.
Actually, it's not a guarantee that you fail it though.
Yeah.
You're just dropping it, and you're not getting. You're not.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's not.
Maybe I
actually
could have like caught up, but
That's
yeah,
okay.
it's been rough. I've had to drop some classes here and there.
That's okay.
Actually, I dropped one and I failed another, so I didn't drop multiple classes.
Do you feel like college is worth it, Chase? We're just gonna go right into you for a little bit. No,
That's okay.
No one getting a little. No.
What about this guy? What college is worth it?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure. It's super expensive, but like, I guess like the experience you get, just like I don't know, living on your own
Mm-hmm.
is like helpful, and like having your friends there to like support you, but not like do everything for you.
Did they do everything for you in high school?
No, but like your parents kind of did, and like, or they did a lot for you, and I don't know, you're just kind of like on your own. I guess the big deal is you don't really have anyone to like, I don't know, be your mom.
Yeah. You gotta learn to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
No, totally. I get that.
What else was I gonna say? College. In terms of like the academics, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah. No.
Because like, I don't know. I'm not so convinced yet that like a college degree is like as like good as it is supposed to be, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
if like you actually like need it for as many things as they like tell you do, or like I don't know if it's like the big deal that it's like made out to be, because I feel like you could still find something and like not spend a crap ton of money on college and get a degree that you may like never use.
Yeah.
Like I've heard like people every day, like I don't know whether it's just on the internet or like in person, like people say like often they don't use their degrees, like they're just there and they're just like
Mm-hmm.
like they just don't use them as much.
I'll be honest. I'm probably like maybe 20% here for the degree. 80% of me is here to have the college experience.
Mm-hmm.
Both my parents had great college experiences, and they got to experience the college life. Take that as you will, but you know, none of us party. We don't do that kind of stuff. But the college experience is not just partying. It's
kind of individual.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's staying up late, 1 a.m. recording podcast. It's stuff like
this.
It's what me and my friend Connor, who will definitely be on this podcast, well, not just us, it's kind of a thing, but we call it dad lore. You know, those things that, Lord willing, when we have kids, that like, when either they ask us or it comes up, like, you tell them about those good times that you had in college. Like, we recorded podcasts at 1 a.m, or like, one day we just decided to get in Pierce's van that he just bought, and we just decided to drive to the Rocky Mountains and camp, stuff like that. And it's like, I mean, you know, staying up with 8 guys in a, what, 40 square foot.
Yeah, not a big room.
And this is probably what, like 75 square feet, something.
Maybe.
It's really,
Small,
it gets tight when there's 8 men in here, especially manly men.
Very manly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we got, you know, comfortably, we have one on the top bunk, probably like laying down. I mean, you can't see it from the audio, but if you want to listen in, we have our beds bunked, but then we have like, what, 2 or 3 people on the bottom just kind of sitting there hanging out.
2 or 3 people on the bottom, 2 people on chairs.
Yeah.
Jokes
What?
on them,
3
my
people
bed
in
falls
chairs,
off.
if you're counting this as a chair. 1 person on the beanbag. What is
Mhm.
that?
So we can usually get, I think the max we've had in here is 9 guys when we did that fantasy football draft.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we had 8 in here like the week before when we were watching Harry Potter. That was really fun. But like that kind of stuff is dad lore to me, and that's a big reason I'm here. So I wouldn't get too down on yourself for not feeling like the degree is worth it, I guess. So
Yeah.
Chase, one last question specifically towards you, and then we'll move on. But I asked you highs and lows of like the transition. What have been some like a high and a low of college life so far, specifically college life?
High. I guess I'll start with low.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never like doubted so much in my life before.
Fair.
Like, doubt me, like, I don't know, maybe doubt someone else, like doubt the whole like process. But yeah, I've like seriously like doubted things. I won't go into like too much detail, but like, I don't know, I've just been doubting everything, whether it's like good or bad, or
For sure.
like, yeah, and I've just been questioning things that I've never really questioned before, and I was happier when I wasn't questioning those things. So like that's kind of a low, and I won't go into too much detail because it's probably kind of depressing. Anyway,
That's okay.
high highs. High highs. I actually don't know what is a high from the college experience so far.
It's honestly okay to not have one either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of drawing a blank. I mean, hanging out in the room with all the guys is always really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I used to struggle a lot with like loneliness. Like a few years ago, I still kind of struggle with it sometimes. So it is like really nice that like, I guess, and also lucky that our room is like the hangout spot, and like everyone like comes in here. So yeah, that's kind of been a good thing for me. Been feeling lonely a lot less, which is good.
Muy bueno.
Muy bueno.
I've definitely felt.
No hablo español because I failed the class. All right, continue.
Beginning of 2023 was definitely super lonely for me. You know, taking that break from youth group and kind of feeling like, I don't know, I could open up to some people, but it was always people like way older than me, who are way smarter than me and have a lot more knowledge, but still made me feel alone. Luckily, yeah, you, but Jesus was there, and just remember that, Chase. Like, Jesus is always, he's always watching us, and he protects us, and the Holy Spirit moves even when we can't see it. But let's get into Mr. Montgomery over here.
Yeah.
What were you excited when you kind of made that decision to come here to Whitworth, and like, were you excited about college life? Like maybe whenever you made that decision, when was that?
I think the decision that I kind of wanted to go to college was halfway through my junior year. It was actually end of first semester. I was really like diving in deep to kind of what it would do, like kind of what I wanted to do for work, and I wasn't necessarily sure what that wanted to be. But once I found that, I kind of realized that I needed to go to college for that. And so I was like, oh man, I haven't really been doing good in school. What the heck do I do to like make this better? And so I took more time out of my day. I didn't take a lot because I still really was kind of struggling with school.
Yeah.
But just kind of trying to find a way to do better in classes and showing that, hey, like I can do this stuff. I promise I'm not dumb. And just kind of getting a feel for what it would be like in college, because it's definitely more like you don't have your parents seeing your grades, and you have to figure out everything on your own, basically.
Yeah.
And just kind of figuring out how that would be throughout high school. And so that was, I would definitely say I was excited at first, but then kind of once I got closer towards coming to college, I was really doubting myself quite a bit, especially when it comes to the idea of like where God wanted me to be. I was doubting a ton. I was like, does God even want me to go to college? What does he want me to do? I'm like so lost. Yeah. And so I really doubted and questioned myself a ton through that. Just that beginning part, or maybe that week before college, before we were supposed to move in, was like a huge struggle for me. And so I would say at first I was excited, but getting closer to it, I was definitely like, it was a struggle for me.
Yeah. Kind
of get it, and also just like that change aspect was definitely different, and I wasn't expecting that, to say the least.
Totally. Yeah. Were you ever nervous about like that Whitworth was the right choice after you got here?
Definitely. That was like, I'd say the first 2-3 weeks of being here, there was a lot of times I would just be laying in bed like at night, or just like waking up and being like, should I even be here right now? Like I feel like I could be doing better things. And it just I would just like lay there, and honestly there were like some nights I would just kind of cry to myself a little bit, because I was just so I was so doubtful of myself that I was even making the right decision of being here.
Yeah.
Same.
And it was kind of rough for me, and a lot of the times I felt like I couldn't really reach out to people, even though I knew I could.
Yeah.
I had never really done that before, and so that was kind of hard for me to take that next step and reach out to people to be like, hey, I'm struggling, and I don't know how to work through this. And so, and even still sometimes I struggle with that, but I've definitely learned to get better through that. But it was definitely a struggle the first few weeks, but I think now to the point where I've gotten, I'm still kind of questioning a bit, but I do kind of see the purpose of being here, kind of like how you were talking about, or I guess you were kind of talking about this. Sometimes you don't really know like what the degree is going towards, or if that's gonna benefit you in any way in the future. I do kind of feel like I'm mostly here to just kind of live that college life and get that experience.
Yeah.
However, I see that kind of just depends. It is, like I said, it's an individual thing. For me, that's just being here, hanging out with the boys, and making memories.
We're in the business of making memories, but yeah. Would you say there was a moment that you kind of finally felt at peace that you were here?
I would say so. I'm trying to recall this. But I do remember having a day when I was kind of just sitting. I was actually in this room, and I was hanging out with everyone, and I kind of felt like at peace with myself. And not a lot of times I don't feel that.
Yeah.
So it was definitely like weird for me. Like I don't really feel at peace a lot of times. There's only one real time I felt at peace with myself, and it's when I gave my life to Christ. That was like probably one of my biggest at peace moments.
Amen.
One of I would say the second time was just kind of being here and not really questioning or doubting myself as to why I'm here. Just being here with everyone and laughing and having a good time. That was, for me, that's being at peace, is being happy with where you are and being content and knowing that God's got more of a plan than what we can see or what we can understand, and just trusting that He's got everything. And I kind of just sat there and I closed my eyes and was like, thank you, God. Like, thank you for bringing me here to this moment in time, and just bringing peace to my soul and to my mind, that I shouldn't have to question where I'm at, and that He will lead me through that.
Have you ever felt peace like that in a moment where maybe you weren't comfortable, or like, you said that you felt that when we were having a good time, and it was like happy, which is awesome. But have you ever felt the peace of God, or even another kind of peace that isn't like true peace, but something like that? Maybe during a tough time or somewhere where you weren't as comfortable.
Yeah, I was actually probably one of my first couple weeks here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I really struggled for the first couple weeks, and I don't know what kind of led me to do this, but I was just like, I'm just gonna go to the Switchbacks, which is, for those of you listening, the Switchbacks is just a nice little place that we kind of found, and it's just a nice place to be in nature, in God's creation. And I don't know what made me do this. I was just like, I'm gonna go to the Switchbacks, and I'm gonna go spend time with God and just kind of listen.
Yeah.
Which a lot of the time it's quite hard to listen to God sometimes, because we're very busy people. We got busy schedules, and so I was like, I'm gonna go take time out of my day and go listen to God and just take a time. And so I went out there, and I kind of sat there. I just listened, and I prayed, and it was like one of the first times I felt at peace, I would say, to an extent. Just kind of being there and listening instead of asking. It was nice, to say the least.
Yeah.
After crying and struggling a lot through that, it was definitely a nice change for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
After, and then coming back to a little bit more chaos, but
yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I would say the three of us are probably, we're obviously all at different stages in our walk with Christ, and Chase is a little newer, and Owen's been around it, and I grew up in the church, with and we all had different kinds of parents, so we're all in different parts in our journey with our relationship with Christ. But Chase, I want to ask you, when you got saved, which was November, I want to say November 9th, but I'm not really sure about that. But it was
I think it was definitely November.
Yeah, I know it was November. I just don't remember which day. But we had that worship night, and I remember seeing Josh take you over, and you guys were sitting up against the wall in the coffee shop, and I remember him coming over. He's like, "Guess who just got saved?" I'm like, "Dude, no way! That's awesome." But I love talking about Jesus, and I'm not always the best example of a godly follower, and I screw up like we all do, but I love talking about Jesus. I want to hear it from you. I mean, I've heard this a little bit before, but it's been a while since we've talked about it. Can you tell us a little bit about that peace and experience that you felt that night? Maybe if you, I don't know how much you remember from that night. I know I'm pretty sure you remember talking with Josh, but can you walk us through that?
Dude, it was dope. It was all your worries and
That's awesome.
Problems, just I don't know. The time you got saved, it feels I don't know. They're just gone, and you can just enjoy your life, and just be at peace with yourself and where you're headed, because you know that Christ will always be there for you and looking out for you. And it's just nice. I don't really know how else to describe it. It's I don't know, freeing. You feel you can just I don't know, just be happier, and in that moment it was just I don't know. It kind of it feels you have a hand on your shoulder, but I don't know, at the same time I don't know, your shoulders are
Lighter.
Yeah, lighter, because all of your burdens are just in that moment, just I don't know, gone.
Yeah.
It feels so it is pretty magical, and it was really cool.
That's what's so cool about God is our burdens are gone, not just in that moment though. We're saved from the damnation of hell, which is what we deserve because we're sinners, but luckily Jesus came and took that for him. And how has college impacted your faith walk with Jesus?
I would definitely say there were some parts where I stumbled, but I would say overall it has definitely helped a lot. I think being on, I guess in quotation marks, on my own has definitely kind of made me more what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say knowledgeable about the things that I'm struggling with, because a lot of times I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, totally. That makes sense.
Yeah, but I feel a lot of times in the past when I've struggled with something, I kind of just pushed it off and didn't really think too much about it. I'm oh yeah, it'll just go away. But now I feel if I am struggling with something, I do work towards fixing that problem instead of kind of just being oh yeah, God will fix that, or it'll just go away.
Yeah.
Actually taking a step and trying to fix the problem and understanding why I'm making the same mistake over and over, and just really trying to get down to the root of the problem instead of just cutting or trimming it at the top and be oh it's fine now.
Yeah.
But just getting down to the root and
pulling it
for
sure. I'm having kind of a brain fart right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm losing it.
We're all losing it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
But yeah, that's awesome. But I mean, I asked this earlier, but it's been 2 years. What's new? I'll tell you. I mean, I got 2 tattoos.
Real.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get another one in the next few months. It's just a small one, but I'm broke, so.
Relatable.
Yeah, financial situations in college is hard. Owens, he's set. But,
Set.
But I mean, money is the root of all evil. But yeah, what's new, boys?
idea.
I'm gonna bass boost that on you, like smacking your lip.
Wonderful.
It's like that Nevada video. Where you just...
Nevada. I think I snorted. That's what it.
Yeah. Small plug. If you look up Fingy Mower on YouTube, there's a video that's just titled Nevada.
This is true.
And
it was too weird to upload on the Lucas Tree Films channel, so I took the hit there. It was not really a hit. It's a great video.
It's really funny.
Watch it. Do it.
It's a wonderful video. You should definitely watch it.
It was made in 10 minutes?
About, yeah. Maybe not even 10 minutes. Yeah.
Ooh, I just thought about what's new. I can actually drive.
Oh my gosh, 2 years ago you couldn't drive. That's wild.
I don't think I could drive 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
To drive both of you losers.
In case you were wondering,
Sure.
2 years ago I couldn't drive, and it took me till senior year to get my driver's license. Actually, the second half of senior year to get my driver's license. And here we are. I'm driving you guys around now.
True. How the tables have turned.
Happens.
I think the only reason I got mine is because I had to. Because I had to take my brother to school, and my other brother also to school. But yeah.
Yeah. So, you mentioned senior year. Senior year was solid for me. I mean, it was rough, like the second half, but it was good. I mean, especially considering the school. I had like homework maybe 3 times outside of actual school.
True. Well, I chose not to do my homework, but
yeah, that's okay.
That's because you could just do it in class. And
But what was your guys' okay, here you go. Rank your every year of high school from worst to best. Chair Creek.
Do you want to start us out?
I don't know if I could like rank them, but what I can say is like, I don't know, the odd number years, like 9th and 11th grade, definitely felt like better. 10th grade, soft. And 12th grade wasn't as bad as 10th grade. It was just kind of okay. It was just kind of there.
Yeah.
I mean, my classes were interesting. Well, one class that I can think of was interesting. But yeah, that's kind of like I definitely had a
What
better
was wrong
time.
with senior year?
Senior year?
Yeah. What made it less?
I don't know. It just wasn't like. I think for me, junior year was just like such an upgrade from crap that sophomore year was.
Yeah.
That just excited me a lot more. And then senior was kind of just like, I don't know. I guess school again. Yay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just
Do you think you could rank them?
rank them.
4.
Well, 10th grade year. That's definitely the worst one. Number 4.
10th grade sophomore year for us was COVID year, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And so was the end of freshman year.
Yeah.
Maybe
End of
not.
freshman year was weird. It was like March through June was just totally cut off. But like sophomore year was the like going to school every other day for like the 75% of the year, and you didn't see half the kids in the school. It was weird.
Yeah, it was kind of depressing too, actually.
Yeah.
I want to say almost somehow that like freshman year was the best because like I don't know, I guess I was just like happier, like the sadness from sophomore year was still yet to come.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know, I guess the only like like just I guess kind of vanilla, just like regular year of high school almost in a way. And maybe I'll say second, 11th grade, 3rd, 12th, 4th, 10th. I'm just saying numbers now, but hopefully that made sense.
Rio.
Brazil? What?
Fair.
So you're telling me that your 1 and 2 is 9/11?
I'm telling you that my 1 and 2 is 9/11. Mm-hmm.
Chase would have it no way else.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I didn't even do that on purpose. Like, that just happened. And that is wonderful that it happened like that. Not because it's a tragedy, but, like, I don't know, funny note. Never mind. Forget I said anything. We're having a wonderful time at this podcast. We're not talking about any tragedy. I should stop bringing it up. I'm going to face my chair now.
Owen.
Oh, man. You know, I was actually talking to my brother about this. I don't remember anything from sophomore year. Not a clue.
It was a rough year for you.
True.
I'll speak for you. It was a rough year.
But I don't remember anything from sophomore year. So I can't really rank that anywhere. But I definitely remember freshman, junior, and senior year.
It's weird that you remember freshman, but not sophomore.
I know.
It's kind of funny.
Like
That's what COVID does to you, dude.
I remember, but at the same time, I don't. It's weird to think that COVID was 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So freshman year was pretty good because I played basketball that year, and I didn't have to do track. COVID kind of saved me from that.
Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, so I was supposed to be doing track, and
The PE coach was forcing him to.
I did not know.
yeah, my basketball coach was like, "Hey, you should do track because it's good for basketball. It's like good training. It kind of helps with like your competitiveness. Track is conditioning, and also like it helps with like being pretty competitive." I did the dumb decision of deciding, hey, let's do long distance. Didn't realize that long distance is full of all the cross country kids.
That was the year I did cross country too, so it was weird.
Yeah, I didn't realize that, and all their workouts for practice were the cross country workouts, and I said, screw this, I'm not doing this. And I went to my parents, I was like, hey, I don't want to do track anymore. They're like, you're going to do track? I'm like, you're kidding, right? They were not kidding. And so we're maybe, 2 weeks into track, and then, the word that COVID gets around, they're like, hey, we're going to get out of school for a week. Let's go. No track practice for a week. And then that week keeps extending on into months and months. And what do you know? You're not doing track anymore. And that was saving grace right there, COVID really came in and just made me not do track. So I'm not complaining about that. Junior year, definitely it's up there. Junior year was up there. That's like, started off like kind of all right, but then it just got better and better and better. So I really have, except for physics. I hated physics with a passion.
Gosh.
We all know that.
Physics is 1,000,000%
miserable.
But it's type 2 fun. Because looking back on it, the only thing I can remember is like first semester, me and Chase just like looking at cars memes or playing GeoGuessr.
That was fun.
Like me and him just messing around. And then second semester was like all I remember was like Felix carrying all of us on the assignments. Owen just rage quitting at Mrs. Taylor. Us hiding the applesauces. Me not knowing what the heck is going on in the class. And me and Chase still looking at cars memes.
Yeah.
But in the moment, yeah, it was terrible.
In the moment, it definitely was terrible. Looking back, it was terrible. So I've got nothing good from physics except for the fact that I hit the fact that we hit applesauce under the table.
That's all
and
I remember from
we got
physics.
we got in trouble for that.
Sure
Well,
did.
kind of. Got in
100%
trouble.
worth it.
Oh,
So worth it.
absolutely.
Saying, "Oh yeah, this could mold the classroom. It's not going to expire. It can't mold for the year that it's going to be."
Applesauce, bro.
Yeah, it's processed applesauce.
Even if
on
it
top
does
of
mold, who cares? It's funny.
But yeah,
True.
so yeah, junior year, it just kind of solid all the way through. It just got better and better. Senior year kind of was a little bit rough parts throughout senior year. But I'd say it ended off strong, pretty strong.
Dude, end of senior year was like so fun.
True. Like,
That's true.
and also I just thought about this junior year, had the most goated English teacher and class of all time. It was Quiggs.
Right.
My class was goated.
You moved into my class second semester, right?
I don't think so. Or were
Oh,
we?
right, because you were with Uriah.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, wait, Uriah
Wait.
Uriah had a different teacher.
No, wait. I thought we both had Quigs at one time.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, because
Maybe I'm just thinking of us going into her
'cause-
room every day during senior year.
yeah, because I had Kobe with me the first semester, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm doing homeschooling. I'm like, you're kidding, right?
He's so weird.
And
Funny
so,
guy.
yeah, we didn't have English together. We had history though.
We did, yeah. With Chase. And then didn't
That
you?
was fun.
And then he got kicked out.
Yep, I got kicked out of the class.
Dude, I remember the one memory I have from you and me being in Mr. Oglesby's class was this one assignment where we had to color a map. And it was like the week after we turned it in. We're both looking at Power School, and you're like, I didn't turn this in. you're like, I was like, wait, Chase, what'd you get on your map assignment? And you're like, I didn't do it. And I was like, what? And then you pulled it up, and you looked, and you were like, bro, I got 100%. It's like, okay, well then, I guess I got 100% too. I did the assignment. I did it correctly, and he gave me a C, 75. Chase didn't do.
I did not, can't confirm. I had no idea what that assignment was. Didn't touch it, ever think about it. It's just 50 out of 50. I'll take it.
Yeah, anyway. I just thought about my ranking. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and put, oh, this is tough. I'd probably have to put, unfortunately, senior year in last place.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you should put sophomore year last, because you don't even remember.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess I was kind of just not counting sophomore year
Okay,
because I
fair
don't
enough.
remember.
Okay, sophomore
Fair
year is
enough.
4.
Yeah, we'll put sophomore year as 4. I would say 3, probably senior year, because that was there was a really rough patch through that like beginning of the year, pretty rough patch. So that definitely tanked it for me. And then I'd have to say probably freshman year and then junior year.
Nice.
Which is weird because I thought I would put senior year, and maybe I'd switch freshman and sophomore year. Because I think
freshman, sophomore, freshman, and senior.
Freshman and senior, my bad.
So then it'd be junior, senior, freshman, sophomore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because honestly, the end, or like getting closer towards the end of senior year, was just honestly so goated that I can't even be mad.
And dude, senior year, we had the feasts.
We had the feast. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
3 times throughout the year during senior year. Me, Owen and I, and then a few of our other friends. It was mainly Felix and then Uriah. But we had 3 feasts. The first feast was in celebration of our maternity sub's last day, who we loved. She was going to Meade, but
Bless her soul.
Bless her soul, Miss Wolf.
Rest in peace.
She was
You're
awesome.
At Meade now.
We all loved her. She was a great sub, super nice, and so we threw a little feast. By feast, I mean we all brought like different foods. We had Pop-Tarts, we had donuts.
I brought a toaster.
Toaster.
I got a lot of weird looks for that
toaster.
one.
What else did we had? Cereal, we had grape juice, we had milk.
We had everything.
Pancakes was the second one, but we had a ton of food, right? But it was not as big as the second one. The second one was Friendsgiving, so it was like end of November.
We had a different teacher or a different sub.
Yeah, we had a different sub. We had
wasn't
2
very-
maternity subs, which is weird.
I wasn't very fond of the second sub.
No,
Her name will
weren't.
not be spoken.
No, I don't even remember her name.
Real.
But
Oh, I remember.
but we weren't celebrating her.
Why did I have to remember her name? Continue.
Anyway, yeah. So Friendsgiving, and Felix brought like chicken wings, and we had mashed potatoes. We had Martinelli's, our apple cider. We had a freaking placemat, or not placemat, but a tablecloth over the desks.
I just remember, actually, I thought about this. Think about the cider. We almost got in trouble for that. I actually almost got in trouble for that.
They
thought it was alcohol.
Champagne, yeah.
And so they were like, we need to look at these bottles. I'm like, why? It's apple cider. They're like, because one of the bottle they were looking at, the bottle in question, the label was ripped off, so that's not a good look for me.
Yeah.
And so they were like, we have to make sure this isn't alcohol. I'm like,
Okay.
it's literally with a bunch of apple cider. I'm not going to bring alcohol with apple cider. That's dumb. And they were like, doesn't matter. We got to check. And I'm like, okay, like, do you, I guess. And so they checked and they're like, oh, yep, cider. Oh, who would have thought? And so, yeah, you can continue.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so Friendsgiving, lots of Thanksgiving food. And then the last one was like, it was like a week or 2 before the end of school. It was just end of the school year celebration. And it was weird because our actual teacher had never seen a feast before. So we came in with all this food, and she's just like, "What the actual heck?"
She didn't like me.
No, but she was weird. Dude.
She was weird.
But yeah, so the last one was just like any food we could imagine. Oh, I also forgot at Friendsgiving we had Noah brought pancakes and he cooked it on a griddle. The last one.
I'm actually surprised we got away with that one.
Yeah. Last one we had 3 boxes of donuts. We had tons of fruit, mainly 3 large watermelons.
3 large watermelons.
And then we also had Pop-Tarts and more food and just snacks in general.
Kind of just breakfast stuff.
Yeah, but it was just
in a cart.
And pie.
And pie. Why did we have pie?
Because we wanted to bring as much food as we possibly
could. What pie was it? Oh, it was like a chocolate pie or something like that.
Yeah, no one ate it at lunch.
And then we proceeded to punch the watermelon.
Yeah, we had so much food and it was amazingly on Bring Anything But a Backpack Day. So Felix the entire day was carrying food in a wagon around school. And I remember showing up to lunch and he still had like half of the food left from the feast in first period. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm not eating my homemade lunch. But it was incredible. Those are 3 feasts. That made senior year very memorable. Dad lore.
Honestly, despite not liking English was probably one of the better classes.
Like the people in that class was just goated.
It was just the people made
awesome.
Classes. Kids, if you're going to high school, the people in classes make it better. It does
make
matter.
the most of it.
If you have a bad class, I am so sorry for you.
Yeah. I remember one thing I did like about Brody was he would come into Mr. Oglesby's class and he would say something either racist, sexist, or just something
completely out of pocket.
Completely out of pocket. And I just remember, like, I can't quote what he said, but he just walked in and there was a map of Britain. Brody hates Britain almost as much as Chase, but he hates Britain, and he walks in and he just stands in front of the TV, dead face, stares at the TV, and I can't say what he said. He said F Britain, but the way he said it was so funny. And oh my gosh. I was laughing so. Chase wasn't even there, and he's laughing.
You can see the worst part is that you can see him saying.
Yes,
if you know him, you can see him saying.
And the way he walked back to his desk afterwards was just gold.
On his tippy toes.
I see he just sits down, pulls out his phone, acts like nothing happened. It was awesome.
Beauty of autism. Sorry, forget I said that. Continue.
Nice. Anyway, I'll do my rankings. Freshman year was like... Freshman and sophomore year, for me, were both just like mid. Sophomore was probably better. I would probably give my rankings junior, senior, sophomore, freshman.
Is this like best to worst?
Yes, I said worst to best, but yeah, best to worst would be junior, senior, sophomore, freshman. Junior year was just like...
Bro, why did I say freshman year's the best? I'm an idiot. Keep talking.
Anyway, but junior year was like, we still had masks, but it was like full-time back to school every day. I had good people in my classes. I mean, that year was weird because the second half was like heartbreak and then getting back together and all that
jazz.
BS. It was so weird. But anyway, I mean, it wasn't BS. It was good for me. But
learning opportunities.
Learning, great way to put it. Learning opportunities. But the school aspect of it was like, and also like that was like right after Madras and the first Madras, so like the youth group was finally feeling like a family.
It was booming. Youth group was booming.
It was peak youth group because all the cool leaders were still there. There was no drama in our grade yet.
Not yet. That would be next year.
Chase started coming. Owen got saved that year. Johnny was coming he was coming consistently for Johnny, but
Johnny standards. Benji showed up out of nowhere.
Joined, yeah, it was awesome.
And he joined, and it was the greatest thing ever.
And winter camp that year was, I mean, when you got saved, not just for you though, but like that winter camp was,
like that was the first time we met Benji.
It wasn't the first time because he came to youth group like once or two. He did, yeah.
Oh, I just
So I
remember him like spawning there at Winter Camp. He's like, "Oh, Benji,
That was the
let's
first
go."
time I met him.
It was weird because he came like a week before, maybe 2 weeks before that, and it was weird because he knew Chloe Noller from school and some other people, and we were playing a game, and he said he was a senior, and we were juniors at the time.
I remember that.
I was like, okay, and then he won the game. He literally won the game, and then he's like, after like they gave the prize to the seniors, so he's like, actually I'm a junior, and I was like happy that he was new and that he was here, but I was like mad because it was like,
You could have won for us.
and then he showed up in our small group, and I was like trying to be like welcoming him, but I also wanted to strangle his neck.
Because we could have won the game.
Mm-hmm. But that was the first time I met him. I didn't really meet the true Benji that night. The true Benji kind of revealed himself over time.
It just had to give it a little time,
Yeah.
and it kind of slowly leaked out. You're
And
like,
then, yeah, in that year of I count that year of Madras as part of junior year because we're technically juniors going on that trip, and that was probably the best year of Madras. Actually, I don't know. The first was weird because it was first time, but anyway.
for sure.
I thought we were only going to go for 30 minutes. We've gone for almost an hour.
What can we say?
I'm going to take a nap tomorrow, so I don't really care.
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow.
Gosh, dang
I
it.
don't really care.
We have school tomorrow. This sucks.
It's okay, shit. What class do you have tomorrow morning?
Core discussion before we've even done the core. How that works? I don't know.
Yeah,
Did
I
they
have that
email
too.
you and they were like, "You're
Yours is
doing a
at-
discussion"?
Yours is at 8:40.
Yeah.
Who's your leader?
No idea.
Okay.
I
Mine's
saw
at
I saw the
9:30.
name. I've never heard of the guy. I think he's new.
Chase?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to wrap things up there, but
Were you?
this is a really good intro back into the podcast. I think we're going to end up doing this pretty consistently. I think we might do the other podcast, story time. But if we did story time, it would be just us three every time. Probably, maybe bringing a few guests. But I think podcasting with the boys might have a girl on here this season.
So podcast.
Whoa, are we gonna have to change the name?
No.
No,
Or does it stay podcasting?
it's
with the
podcasting
boys?
with the boys. She will be a boy for however long.
For
And okay.
the hour that
Which,
she
That makes
knowing
sense.
her and the things she said before, she's okay with that, which is weird.
considering that I did call her Chad and she was like, cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and during Madras last year, she was like, I want to be a boy.
Yeah.
Or like a boy. She doesn't want to be a boy, but she wants to be. I'm going to stop. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
My
There's
Siri
your-
going off. Shut up. Anyway,
Yes,
but
Siri.
we're going to end here with...
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Shut up. Sorry.
Idiot.
That was right next to the phone, too.
Their ears are bleeding.
Yeah.
It's
Every
okay,
time we
maybe-
tap the table, the audio goes really high.
I did that.
Okay, well, we'll edit that part. That was just really loud. But
My bad.
we'll end with a little Bible verse here. We're all sinners. We're not perfect. I definitely sin a lot, and I'm not a good leader at times.
Don't we all?
But hopefully people can know that Jesus is the one to pursue, not me, not us. So we want the Lord's name to be glorified. But one of my favorite verses, I incorporate a lot with hope, which is one of the tattoos I got. It's Isaiah 40:31, and I kind of have it memorized. There's different versions of it, but it's but those, I like the NIV version the best. But those who hope in the Lord, they will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not grow faint. And it's just a good reminder that even when we're at our lowest, if our hope and trust is in Christ, that doesn't matter. We're going to heaven, and Jesus lifts us while we're on earth too. So hopefully you guys can take that. If you're still listening to maybe one it's probably going to be me listening to this back this far in. But God bless. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening, watching, wherever you are. Share this with a friend.
And we're gonna hit the hay.
We're going to go to bed. I'm tired. But I have a feeling this will not be the last 1 a.m. podcast.
No, this will not.
No. All right. Well, we will see you guys later. Peace out. God bless.
Nuts.
Aw.